graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Introducing from Atlantic City, New Jersey, weighing in at 210 pounds, your Italian hero, Joey Image!
Thank you, Scott Fletcher, for the tremendous introduction. And how is everybody? How you doing? Joey Image here, that image guy. Just wanted to drop an episode here. I was kind of sitting home bored, not doing much, and figured I would say hello. A bunch of people liked my last episode, episode 8, Road Stories, and asked me if I can include some more. I think I only told like 3 the other day on Friday, I believe it was. So I didn't have a lot of time to record that day, so I only did a few. And I do have some more pretty good ones, some juicy details I can get into to do a part 2 of that, or a continuation, I should say. So I've got 3 or 4 ideas I wrote down about stories I can talk about, and I will. And again, if anybody wants to hear anything else or anything specific, or have any questions for me, I can do it. Once in a while I'll do Q&As. Just tweet them to me at Joey Image, or you can send me a message via Facebook Messenger or Facebook inbox at at facebook.com/real Joey Image. That works as well. So do that, and I will record that for you. I'm not really into the way my voice is sounding right now. I don't know. I've been coughing a lot. I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, dude. I don't know if there's something going around, or I don't know what's the deal. I did have family over yesterday. Today's Labor Day, but this is the Labor Day weekend. But I had family over yesterday, Sunday. We had a big barbecue, and we made some chicken and burgers and the usual. Potato salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw, regular green salad, chicken fingers, what else the hell do we have? Onion rings, fries, ice cream cake, a whole bunch of cool crap. And so I was around a bunch of people, so I don't know if maybe I'm coming down with something or I caught something. How was your Labor Day weekend been? Let me know. Shoot me a message, tweet me again, and leave me a message below in the comments if you're listening to the YouTube version of this recording. I'm going to get right into some road stories. Somebody asked me, I don't know, I guess people get off on drama or love drama or negativity. I mean, I'm not a big fan of negativity. I try to do that PMA thing as much as possible. I mean, there's nothing like waking up in a good mood and then you go online and some idiot's got some stupid shit to say and you're instantly in a bad mood for the rest of the day. So, I try to ignore negativity. And of course, if anyone comes at me like that, I'm just going to block them. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can't deal with it, you're a pussy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've heard that a bunch online about people. But that's the most asinine and non-logic-based thinking I've ever heard. If somebody comes at me talking trash, I'm just going to block them. Like, why would I intentionally want to invite further ongoing negativity into my life? I don't need it. I got my own problems. I don't need other people's crap. To me, that's just common sense. But anyway, so somebody asked me, hey, any good stories where you can maybe bury somebody? I guess they like the drama, I guess. I don't know. I can tell you. I'm gonna try to keep as many names concealed as I can, but I'll tell the story. And a lot of people know it. I've told the story before, but there was a company called EGW in Pennsylvania that I worked for. I don't even remember what the hell year. Oh, it must have been 2005, 2004, because this incident happened in 2005. So I think they may have started late 2004. I was only with them for the first year that they were around. I believe they're still around. I'm not sure how they're even drawing fans with the quote-unquote talent that are on most of their shows. They use a lot of trained guys, but they use a lot of either not fully trained or just guys that aren't ready. And I really think that they should throw their guys at training more before they're putting guys on shows. It'll make the product so much better, and it'll make their workers a lot better. But anyway, so here's the story. EGW. Let me go back to a little bit before this story actually starts or took place. I was doing an angle where Draven Blaze and I were in a feud in World Star Wrestling, which is where I worked before. I still worked there at the same time as EGW. I was actually one of the few. They had a falling out. The guys, there used to be a couple guys that ran World Star Wrestling together. They had a falling out and split up, and one of the guys branched off and started EGW. And I was one of the guys that was granted permission to work both. I always think that that's stupid when an independent company tells someone, you can't work here, you can't work there. Oh yeah, I can't. I'm independent. I don't have a contract saying I exclusively work for this one company. I'm an independent contractor. I work for myself. I pick and choose my own bookings, my own places to go, whatever. So it's really ridiculous when an independent company tells somebody you can't go work here. Really? Good. How about I go work there, I don't work here? But out of respect, because I had been very, very close with the promoter of World Star Wrestling, I asked him if it's okay, if he would be offended if I went and worked for this other company, and he said, absolutely not. You've always, in fact, I think what he said word for word was, you've always respected me, so I will respect this decision. And he quote unquote let me go work for them. It didn't last very long, as you'll find out in a minute, but I was given the permission by Johnny Glitter. Or not, I shouldn't say the permission, I was given a blessing. He gave me his blessing to go work for them. So I did. So Draven Blaze and I had a feud there in World Star, and then we both worked for EGW. Draven Blaze and myself continued our feud at EGW. And there was a lot, they ran in similar areas, not the same towns, but usually within like an hour and a half of each other's towns. So, and on different dates, so fans can get to each show. So they knew that, him and I were not friends, put it that way. So we did our feud there as well. So after, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 matches, we started an angle where he would involve himself in my matches, interject in my matches, and I would interject in his matches. But the catch is, if wrestler A and wrestler B are wrestling, and you run in and attack wrestler B, you're helping A. So A gets disqualified. So they lose the match, obviously, and B wins. So I would always run in and I would attack the opponent, because say Draven Blaze is wrestler A and whoever was wrestler B, I would run in and not attack Draven Blaze. I would attack the opponent. This way I was helping Draven Blaze and he would get DQ'd. So people would always be like, well, why wouldn't you just, people would ask me, how come you didn't attack Draven tonight? Like after the shows, fans would say, how come you didn't attack Draven tonight? And I would explain, if I attack Draven, then it looks like I'm helping his opponent. And his opponent would then lose the match and Draven would win. I don't want to give him a win. I want to give him a loss. So I run in, I attack the opponent. Now I'm quote unquote, not really, but helping Draven Blaze. So he gets DQ'd. So he, therefore, is loses the match. So, to me, that's common sense. A lot of people, I don't know if they don't understand that or they don't think of that, but to me, it makes perfect sense. So, when I would do these run-ins, we would sometimes do, like, 2 matches on a show. One of us would work twice each show, just so we could kind of advance the storyline quicker. So, eventually, we did a thing where he won, I forget what the deal was. I'm sorry, no, he lost. We did a 1-on-1 match, and the winner was, we're going to do one final match, and the winner gets to choose the stipulation. And my stipulation was, it'll still be regular 1-on-1. I wasn't going to throw anything crazy at him, but I wanted a weapons match. And whoever won that got to choose a bodyguard, because we would do promos saying, I'm tired of you interfering in my matches, and I'm going to get someone to watch my back. So the stipulation was we could choose our own bodyguard, whoever won the match, but only that guy got a bodyguard. So if I wanted to do a run-in on him and I had a bodyguard, I was good because he didn't have one. But if he had one, I would have to get through that guy first. It was really kind of confusing when you lay it all out on paper, actually. But that's the way we did it. So we did the weapons match. We did a kendo stick match. I think it was kendo sticks and chairs we did. In fact, there's clips of it on my Facebook of him like killing me with a kendo stick, and I thought it was awesome. That's like one of my favorite weapons to use. So we did that, and then I forget. I think he won. Oh no, I'm sorry. I won. So I got to choose the bodyguard for our final. We were going to end it once and for all. You know, this is going to be our last match, our last one-on-one match. And the thing that didn't make sense was you usually do a bunch of standard one-on-one matches and then lead up to a gimmick match. We did a couple one-on-ones, a gimmick match, and then ended the feud with a one-on-one match, which, I mean, I'm not the booker. I didn't write it, so I didn't think it made sense, but whatever. I just went along with, what I was told. That was my job. That's what I got paid for, so that's what I did. So we did that. I won the thing, and for my bodyguard, I got to pick a former, and I don't want to mention names, but a former ECW, NWA, and AWA world champion. So just for argument's sake, let's fast forward to the quote-unquote incident. So now let's say that this person that was my bodyguard, let's say he worked for $5, just as an example, because I don't even remember how much it actually was. So here's the deal: the $5 was a little bit too much for the company to afford for this person. However, they did agree on it. So to their credit, they still honored the booking even though they couldn't afford it. Now what happened was I stepped in and said, "Hey, how about we do this? You guys pay half, I will pay half out of my pocket." Because I think we can do this really good, and I think we can go far with it. So I am willing to pay half for this person out of my pocket. You pay the other half. I was told, okay, no problem. Sold. Let's do it. So we get everything done. We book the guy. We do advertising. We talk about what we're going to do. Then about maybe 3 to 4 weeks, about a month before the event was to take place, I lost my job, my day job. So, and I don't even remember where the hell I was working at the time. It may have been Best Buy. But anyway, whatever. So I lost my job. So I contacted the company and said, "Hey, listen, I can't afford my part of this guy's pay anymore. I lost my job." So I spoke to the son of the guy that actually ran the company and said, "Look, I can't do it. This is what happened. I lost my job. I can't guarantee that I will have a new job by the time the show comes around. So I don't want to guarantee I'm going to be able to put in for money, right?" Seems like a very logical, issue. Seems like a very logical argument. I can't promise I'll have income by then, so I can't promise to be able to pay you any money by then. Makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know where the problem was, but I was told, okay, don't worry about it. We will take care of it. So this is what I was told, again, by the promoter's son, whose name I'm not going to mention. So I was told, all right, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Just get here. We'll do the thing. It's fine. So then, all right, I don't hear anything until show day. So I assume everything is fine because I haven't heard anything. So we get there show day and I'm told, hey, we don't have the money for so-and-so. And I said, well, why not? You've known for 3 or 4 weeks now that none of it was coming from me, that it was all you. So why would you not have the money on the day of the event? And I was told we couldn't come up with it. We're going to need you to take care of it. To take care of the balance or whatever. So I said, you know what? I will repeat. And I told you this a month ago, and I was told no problem. I will repeat. I do not have it. I currently am not working a full-time job anymore, so I don't have the income to put out for this. And I explained that, now 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was told, okay, no problem. So why should I be responsible for this? And why are you not telling me until the day of the show? Had you said something a week or 2 later, I would have done whatever I could. I would have dug in my couch cushions for pocket change if I had to. So why was I not told? So I basically didn't get a straight answer, and I said, okay, well, you know what? You're gonna have to deal with the talent then, because once I simply booked him. Once he gets here, pay anything in the future, any future bookings. tonight's actual event or what you need him to do, that's all up to you guys. That does not have anything to do with me. I am simply a talent. I'm here to wrestle, not to book or write. I'm not any of those things. Or at the time, I was not a promoter either. So I was told, okay, we'll deal with it. So he shows up, and they say, hey, we don't have all your money. And he says, well, why not? And they explained the same thing to him, that they told me. They said, well, we couldn't get it all together. We just haven't been able to put it all together for you. And then they throw in this line, but Joey Image promised he would have half of it, and he doesn't have his half either. To which I, of course, my blood is instantly boiled, and I say, bullshit. I say, a month ago, I told you I wouldn't have the money. Don't put me on the spot now and make it seem like it's my fault, because you're the idiots that failed on your end, and you agreed to something that you couldn't handle, or you couldn't fulfill. So don't claim that I did something wrong, because I did nothing wrong. And when I knew I wasn't going to be able to take part, I told you over, like I said, 3-4 weeks, maybe a month ago. And then I got, oh no, but you said you were going to have it though, and you don't. And I was like, don't ignore what I just said, because I just told you, I explained what happened. I no longer have a day job, therefore I no longer have income other than wrestling. So I couldn't do it. And there's people there that will vouch for this. Bruno DeMeo, the Hardcore Mafia, was there. Joey Davino, the Hardcore Mafia, was there. I think Rich Howe was there. Matt Turner was there. Jay D'Agostino was there. So there's a lot of people that can confirm that this is all on the up and up, that what I'm saying is, legit and truthful. So there's a big argument ensues. The talent says, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to come up with my money, and I will go out there and do the match. But I demand to be paid as soon as I come back with the remainder of the balance. So they say, okay, again, knowing that they don't have the money. Not, how about you don't do it and we'll just give you this half and you go home. So we'll give you, whatever. So again, suppose it was $5. So they say, all right, we'll give you $3 just for driving here and turning around and going back home. They didn't do that. They didn't attempt to rectify the situation at all. They just let him go out there and do his match with me as his manager, and then come back and said, we still don't have it. So I said, you know what? This is bullshit. And they're I don't know what they're thinking. They're the first, again, I spoke to the promoter's son about this, who agreed to it. The promoter himself didn't know about the half thing. He thought that this talent was only going to cost half of what he did. So he didn't even know that there was a missing second half of the pay involved. So he didn't find that out until during this argument. So I don't put 100% of the blame on him. I do put a lot of it on the son, though, who, again, didn't tell his father. And I should actually say, which I forgot to say this earlier, at the time I told him I wouldn't be able to participate in paying, he said, okay, listen, just tell him it's $3 and don't mention this to my father. I will mention, or I will take care of the remainder of the remaining $2 myself. My father doesn't have to know anything. So I did forget that, and that's an exceptionally important point in the story, which again proves my, I don't want to say innocence because I didn't do anything wrong, but proves my side of the story is correct, I guess. So we get there, the father finds out that he's actually twice what he thinks he's paying, and he says, hey, if I knew that you were going to be $5, I would have gotten this other guy instead. So the talent then gets more pissed off, rightfully so, and says, so you're saying that I can't draw as good as this other person can? Well, that's bullshit. I demand my money, and if not, I will call the commission. And because Pennsylvania has a state athletic commission that's very strict at the time. So the guy from the commission comes down. I don't really remember what he said. I know he was a short African-American guy. I don't remember his name. I know he was very, very cool, though. He had glasses. I don't remember his name. I feel bad, but he was really, really cool. So anyway, I ended up being able to find another $1, and so we were still $1 short because they had $3, I had $1, and it was $5. So thankfully, Crass Van Tassel showed up and said, hey, pulled me aside and said, dude, if I can help in any way, I would. And I said, well, if you got $1, I could really use it just to kind of smooth this out, just to get this. All I wanted to do was get the talent their full pay and let them go, and then I would deal with the idiots that ran that company, either later that day or at a later date or whatever. So Crass says, hey man, let's hit an ATM. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, absolutely. So we went to an ATM. He got me $1 out of the ATM, gave it to me and said, here, take care of this. So I gave the talent. I said, here's the last $1. He said, no. I want it to come from them, not you. And I said, listen, just take it. Don't worry about it. Just take it and go. I will deal with these idiots. And I understand. And he said, okay, no problem. I appreciate it, blah, blah. So he left, and again, this was after a giant argument. And this is all over the course of like 45 minutes to an hour. This wasn't like a 5-minute thing at all. So that happened. And then, so he leaves. So I currently hold their secondary title at the time, which I don't remember if it was the U.S. Championship. It was a WCW U.S. Championship belt replica that they were using for a title. So I believe it was their U.S. championship. So, what I did once this talent left, I gave him the $1 he left, and I said, you know what, thanks to Crass Van Tassel, this, little argument, debate thing is over, but you guys will hear from me soon, and all I have to say right now is fuck this company. I threw the belt down, walked out, left, went to my car, got in my car and took off, never to work there again. I paid Crass Van Tassel back. I spoke to the talent, apologized repeatedly, told him, listen, I didn't know about this. I had told them a month prior that I wasn't going to put in for the pay. They said, okay, no problem. They would take care of it. I didn't know that they didn't have all of your money when they didn't until they told me, which was that day. So he told me repeatedly, I don't blame you. You have done nothing wrong. I have no heat with you. It's totally okay. I understand. No big deal. So thankfully, there was no heat on me from the talent. Obviously at the time, and there still is now, and I don't really give a shit, but there's still heat on me from the company. I can care less. They're not worth me. I mean, I've already given them more publicity than they deserve. But, so anyway, what happened was, the promoter got a hold of me via email and said, oh, if you and my son made this agreement that you were going to do half and half, why didn't I know about it? And I explained, because he didn't want you to know about it. Because he didn't want you to know that the company was paying that much for this guy. And, only cared, didn't care if you knew that he was going to give him $2.50, but didn't want you to know that he was actually $5 and that I was paying the other half. But when I said I couldn't do it, he said, okay, no problem, don't worry about it, and then did nothing about it. So the promoter kept telling me, oh, well, if that's true, how come I don't know, blah, blah, blah. So what I did was took all the chats, which was Yahoo Chat at the time. I took all the Yahoo chats and I sent him the backlog, the transcript of this chat, because Yahoo Chat or Yahoo IM Messenger used to save chat logs of everything. And it was full graphic mode with colors and everything. It wasn't just like a text file that I could have typed out myself and it could have been false. So I sent him that, and I never ever got a response from that. Still haven't. And that was September 10th of 2005, which in a couple days that will actually be 10 years since that incident happened. So I walked out, never to be seen in that company again. Again, whatever title I had, I threw it down and took off. A lot of people had my back, and I absolutely appreciated that. The star of the day was Crass Van Tassel. I thanked him 1,000 times. So that was 2005. Fast forward 6 years to 2011. I am going there to an EGW show for a friend who was reffing there for the first time, and I was just going to film his match. So I walk in, I paid, okay, they were $10 tickets. I gave them a $20 and said, don't worry about the change, keep the change. The person handling the tickets at the door was the promoter's wife, who I think and know is a piece of shit. Still to this day, she's a piece of shit, and you'll find out why. I go in, I sit down. I go in the locker room first. I was invited in the locker room, by the way. And I say hello to all the boys. A lot of them say, oh my God, I can't believe you're at a show for this company. I said, well, neither can I. So then I go to the other side of the building. I paid double what it was to get in. Wasn't given a thank you. Was given a dirty look and was told, your seats are over there, whatever. So I went and sat down. And then immediately after I sat down, the promoter's wife, who again was at the door, went to the locker room and said, "Who invited Jimmy Image here? I don't want Jimmy Image here." AJ Everett said, his name is not Jimmy, it's Joey, actually. So she said, "I don't want him here." I stayed anyway because I paid. So she went back to the table, whatever, did tickets. My buddy's match comes up, the referee I was talking about, who I think was Chris Decker. So I'm filming the thing, whatever. I'm getting I think I got a text message from Chris saying, "Hey, my match is up next. Can you get the camera ready?" So he was using his camera. Got it ready. I got it, on my arm. I'm ready to go. Waiting for them to do the announcements. And some little kid comes up to me who I've never seen, never heard of, never seen again. Couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old. Comes up to me and says, "You can't film here." And I said, "No, I can film here. The person refereeing the next match is a friend of mine. I'm videotaping this for him." And he says, No. That woman over there," and he points to the promoter's wife and says, You can't film here. She says so." And I said, "Well, I need this match on tape. So can you do it for me, buddy? And I'll give you a couple bucks." So he said, "Okay." So he ended up filming it. Some little kid. I gave him like $5, I think it was. So not only did she not want me filming a legitimate workers match, which is fine. I understand that. A lot of places don't want people in the crowd to film because they want to put these matches on DVD later and sell them themselves. I understand that. But for a grown woman, and it's the middle of the show by now, it was the third or fourth match, so people that were coming to the show were already there. She didn't need to sit there and man the ticket table any longer. So for her to not have the fucking balls to come and tell me herself means, again, A, she's a piece of shit. And B, she's untrustworthy, she's unreliable, she's irresponsible. That's even better words. Now I'm getting a little bit pissed off, but it's okay, because I don't give a fuck if she hears this. So that was that, and then I go back to the locker room again, and I peek my head in, and just to say hello to some of the guys, and I see her in there. This is during intermission now, so the match ends, right? I peek my head in to find my buddy, give him his camera back. I say, "Hey, I couldn't film it because she has a problem with me, so somebody else filmed it. It is on there, though, on your camera." He said, "Okay, no problem, thank you." As I peek my head in there, she's in there yelling at her husband, again, the promoter, saying, "Joey Image is here. I don't want him at our shows. If I could cut his head off and get away with it, I would do it right now." Now, to this day, I'm still wondering why she never said this to me. Other than the fact that she's female, she's obviously got no fucking balls. Because I would have told her where the fuck to go and what she could do with those stupid tickets and that double money I paid for her. So that's that story. And again, just to reiterate, just to let you know where to not go, that company was called EGW, Elite Generation Wrestling. I don't know what the hell that means because they're far from elite. It actually should stand for like Elite Garbage Wrestling. But that's that story. Here's another story that happened also in Pennsylvania. And that EGW thing, I think, was in Lansford, Pennsylvania, which was at a firehouse that I wrestled at 1,000 times. But anyway, so here's another story in Pennsylvania, and this one was in Lackawaxen, which I affectionately call Lack of Action. So we're doing a show in Lackawaxen. This was one of the many Joey Image versus Justin Glory matches that happened in Pennsylvania in World Star Wrestling. So we were at Lackawaxen, I believe it was the firehouse or the community center, something like that. Now, Lackawaxen, I call Lack of Action because it is a exceptionally small town. It's only 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles big. There's nothing in it but like this building that we wrestled at and a store. I remember back in the old days, like you would see westerns and they would have like one store and it was called like General Store and it was all made of wood and it looked like a log cabin actually. This is what they have in Lackawaxen. They have an actual log cabin store and it's called TJ's General Store. And I thought it was awesome. They made awesome sandwiches at that place. Actually, I think if you go down the street, there was a hotel by the railroad tracks that we partied at a few times after World Star shows. But anyway, so this was one of those many shows where I wrestled Justin Glory. And him and I believe, traded the Cruiserweight title once or twice back and forth. So I don't even remember if I was the champion at this time, but I know I was a heel. I was a heel or bad guy. my entire run there in World Star, which lasted about 7 or 8 years. So, we're doing the show, blah, blah, blah. We do, intermission, we always do, autographs or sell pictures or get in the ring and take pictures with fans or whatever. So again, I'm a heel. The crowd there knows me. They see me, they boo me. We had run there regularly all the time, every month. So, there was one event where, during intermission, I was walking around in the lobby going from the dressing room to the concession stand just to get a soda or whatever. And, a little kid comes up to me, I should say, from the arena area, comes up to me and says, "Hey, can I get an autograph?" So, again, I'm a heel. I'm a bad guy. So I look at him and I say, "Get lost, kid. I don't have time for this crap." Something like that. So the kid, I mean, right away with the frickin' waterworks, right? The kid's crying his eyes out. He runs away, goes to his parents, tells them, "Oh, this guy made me cry. He wouldn't give me an autograph. He was mean, blah, blah, whatever." So, in fact, Luke Gallows, Big LG, or Doc from TNA's Aces and Eights, but you all know him as Luke Gallows from WWE, he was there this night, and he was still doing the Dorian DeVille, the human Cadillac gimmick. Yeah. So, anyway, just to get back to the story, we go in the back, intermission ends, next match begins, the first match after intermission begins. Justin Glory comes into the locker room and says, "Listen, we have had a complaint. There's a little kid out there who is crying, who says that he asked somebody for an autograph, and the person yelled at him, and didn't give him an autograph, and then went to his parents and complained. And now the parents are threatening to not come back next month or ever again and miss all of our shows." And that's potentially, if both parents and the child come to every show, that's potentially 3 tickets we're now losing out on. So we need to have the whole locker room go outside or go out to this kid and apologize to him, maybe give him a signed poster or whatever. And we don't, and he also said we don't even know who it was, but we just want everyone to go out there just to cover our bases. So I raise my hand and stand up and I say, "Oh, it was me." And, again, we're told, "Well, we need to go out there and apologize." And I say, "Well, I'm not apologizing. Why would I apologize?" And I was told, "Why would you not apologize?" And this wasn't Justin Glory telling us this. He just came in and told us that somebody was crying. There were 3 or 4 guys at the time in the locker room running the shows that were giving us instructions. So I don't remember at all who this was that was going back and forth with me. We weren't arguing or yelling or anything. We were just talking and discussing. But I was told, "Why would you not go out there and apologize?" And I said, "Because I'm a heel." Like, you realize a heel means bad guy. Bad guys do bad things. Heels are mean. Mean guys do mean things like not give kids autographs. So I refuse to apologize. So I didn't. And now it's 2015, and I still haven't apologized to that kid, nor does he deserve an apology. So I was told, okay, whatever. Everyone else needs to go out there. So everyone else goes out there, apologizes to the kid, signs the autograph for him. I'm the only one that doesn't. Signed a poster for him. And whatever, he leaves, they come to the next shows or whatever. That's essentially the whole story, but the explanation and the thinking behind it is just what I said. I'm a bad guy. Why would I apologize for doing something mean? I just couldn't understand that. I was trained by Camp IWF, to uphold kayfabe, which a lot of people know is dead now. Unfortunately, it only exists on my license plates. But I was taught to always uphold that as much as possible. So it was very, it's not like I'm going out, to church and I'm a prick to the guy sitting next to me just because I'm a heel in wrestling. No, that's going overboard. I understand that. But as much as possible should include being a heel when you're at an actual event and you're a heel. That, as much as possible includes that, and includes the fact that I could refuse an autograph if I want to. Again, I'm an independent contractor, as I said earlier. If I don't want to give a kid an autograph, I don't give a kid an autograph. That's all. I mean, it's as simple as that. So, I didn't understand why I was getting heat for this, and it didn't make any sense. And, I mean, it almost seems like, it's the same, it reminds me of like when heels do autograph signings for WWE. And they just give an autograph, they smile, they shake hands. Like, I don't understand why. I understand you gotta sell merch or whatever, but you know what? John Cena's taking care of that whole company. You don't need, you're good. If someone doesn't buy a heel t-shirt for a month, then, you're okay. But I don't know. It's just, and I know that there's exceptions to the rule. I get that. But this specific situation I was involved in was not an exception to the rule, as far as I see it. So, anyway, I'm going to take a break right now, hit you with a quick commercial, and I will be right back. Thanks.
Millions of Americans every day are shedding unwanted pounds by taking tested and proven Ultra Lipo Stick. Carbohydrates are bad. Our carbo-fighting antioxidant is good. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
My name is Gail, and I lost like 20 pounds on Ultra Lipo Stick.
My name is Jared, and I lost 46 pounds using Ultra Lipo Stick.
My name is Zach, and I actually gained weight. This stuff sucks!
Ultra Lipo Stick is safe and easy to inject. Just 3 doses 4 times a day, discreetly underneath your fingernail. Listen to this.
I used Ultra Lipo Stick and suffered from side effects like uncontrollable greasy discharge.
Ultra Lipo Stick, it turned the armpits of all of my shirts orange. This stuff is crap.
Try it today and see some real results. Ultra Lipo Stick. Not available in stores. Results may vary.
All right, we're back. I'm going to hit you with just one more. I do have 3 or 4 more on my list I could talk about, but I'm going to just do one more for now. I don't want to make these episodes too long, and I'm already close to 36, 37 minutes. So here I can tell you a quick one here. I'll give you 2 quick ones. How about that? Okay, good. Sounds like you're happy with that. So, this one's not wrestling related, but it is a road story as it happened while I was out traveling somewhere. So I used to have a day job in an office while I was, obviously wrestling on the weekends. So there was, next to my office was a Lexus dealership, a Wendy's, a Burger King, a shopping center, and then the highway. And the highway, I could take from that highway, got off onto another one, right to my house, right to my apartment, actually. And then next to my apartment was a Walgreens, a Chili's, a Wendy's, another Burger King was across the street, and then, a bunch of industrial business and stuff like that. So what I'm about to tell you is the fattest fat guy move I have ever done. When Wendy's first came out with the Baconator, I'm a huge bacon guy and I'm a huge burger guy. And I'm a huge cheese guy, so obviously I love bacon cheeseburgers, right? So when Wendy's first came out with the Baconator, I was having like 1 or 2 of them a week. It didn't help my weight, nor did it help my cholesterol, but I didn't care. I loved them. I haven't had one in, probably 2 years at this point, but I loved them back then. So anyway, fattest fat guy move ever. I leave work one day, and remember, right next to that is a Lexus dealership. There's a Wendy's and a Burger King right there. So I think, oh man, I'm so hungry. I had previously gotten a Baconator from that Wendy's, and then drove home, and by the time I get home, it's not hot anymore because it was about a 40-minute drive to my house from work. So, to remedy that situation, this one day I thought, hey, what if I get, instead of getting a Baconator at Wendy's here, and then driving home and it's cold, I'll just get one at the Wendy's next to the apartment. Hey, that seems like common sense, logical. So I do that. Except the only thing is I hit a lot of traffic because, as a lot of office people do, I left work at 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock is rush hour. So it took me, sometimes it would take me more than 40 minutes to get home. It would take me close to an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. So this particular day where I had this brilliant idea, it took me close to an hour and a half to get home. Now, again, my lunch break was 12 to 12:30, so I hadn't eaten since 12 o'clock. So it's already 5 hours, and I'm starving, and I didn't really. I only had a half-hour lunch breaks there, so I never ate a lot anyway because I couldn't finish. If I had a big meal or whatever, a big lunch, I couldn't finish it by 12:30. So I would just bring in either a sandwich, an apple, an orange, maybe some chips or whatever. Nothing ever big at all. So on this particular day, I get stuck in like an hour and a half worth of traffic. I'm freaking starving. I finally get to Wendy's. I get my Baconator, go home, eat it, fine. And then I think, as I'm eating, I think there's got to be a better way, man. Like I can't just not wing it. I can't just take a gamble and hope that there's not going to be a lot of traffic going home when I'm hungry. So, again, fattest fat guy move. I stop at the Wendy's next to my job. I get two. If you get the bacon double cheeseburgers or 2 bacon cheeseburgers, they're $1.50 on the value menu. So I stop at Wendy's next to my job. I get 2 bacon cheeseburgers just to hold me over, so I'm not starving. Until I get to the Wendy's next to my apartment so I can get a Baconator, which was my real dinner. My appetizer was 2 burgers. My real dinner was a triple Baconator soaked in cheese and bacon cheeseburger. So, again, got food at one Wendy's, drove about 30 miles. Or, I'm sorry, I got food at one Wendy's to hold me over while I drove about 40 miles or 30 miles to the next Wendy's so I can get food there as well. Because that was a big fat guy move. So there's a terrific story for you. And I'll actually give you one more, another brief one that really is just like you had to be there, but I still think it's funny, so I'm going to tell you anyway. Myself and Chris Rockwell used to be very, very good friends. So one day we were both working for Grand Slam Wrestling when it was still Garden State Wrestling, and we had the idea of, hey, let's go get some food before the show. Okay, cool. Hey, how about Subway? Subway's, whatever, 5 minutes away or whatever it was, a few miles away, and there was a big shopping center with a Walmart and stuff like that, and there was a Subway right there. So I was like, hey, cool, then while we're at Subway, I can always hit Staples and get my 8x10s printed or whatever. So that was the plan. We were going to go to Staples, go to Subway, go back to the arena, or the building. So we go to Subway, and sometimes I swear and I don't realize it. It comes with being Italian, and I guess just talking a lot. So I didn't realize I'm even swearing. So, we were at Subway, and I said, like, something about, whatever sandwich I got, I said, let me get that fucking, blah, 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 whatever it was. And the little girl's like, okay. And I go, she goes, what kind of cheese? I'm like, let me get some, I don't know, just throw some fucking provolone on there, and fucking black olives, and maybe, oil and vinegar, and fucking, a little bit of lettuce, but not too much. And, maybe tomatoes, and, let me get a bag of fucking, Sun Chips. So, I said the F word like 7 times in one sentence, and the girl was like, can you please just pay for this and go, because we can't have that kind of language in here. And I go, what language? I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, sorry, you just said the F word like 7 or 8 times in one sentence, and apparently you don't even realize it. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't even know. So Rockwell is online next to me laughing his ass off because he knows how I am. Actually, you know what? Speaking of the F word and me, I'll tell you one other quick story right after this one. But Rockwell's laughing while we're in Subway. I'm waiting for my food. I finally get it. I pay for it. And she says, again, you have to go outside and eat that, please. I can't have that language in here. And I write, hey, no fucking problem, man. Thanks a fucking lot. Have a great fucking day. And I go outside. And Chris is still in there laughing. Like to the point where he had trouble ordering. He was just pointing to stuff because he was laughing so hard. So that's that. That was definitely a You Had to Be There story. This is also a You Had to Be There story, but I don't care. It's great. And this story was told, if you bought my Final 5 DVD, this story was told on that DVD as well. But I did a show in, I forget the name of the town now. Was it Wallingford, Connecticut? I don't remember the name of the city. Enfield, maybe? It might have been Enfield, Connecticut. We did a show for World Star Wrestling, another Joey and Justin Glory match. So we go down there. There's a bunch of guys in the locker room. I got there a little bit late. So I walk in, and there's already guys there. So I say hello to a couple guys I see by the door. I walk into the dressing room, open the door. The first guy I see is Matt Turner. So I stick out my hand, and I go, Matt Turner, how the fuck are you? And he starts laughing, just like uncontrollably laughing really, really loudly and hardly. And really, really hard and loudly. And I go, okay. I'm like, I don't know. What did I miss? Is there something funny? I got something stuck on me? I don't understand. So Turner's like, dude, he's like, everybody in here knows you. We took a bet to see how long would it be, how long would it be after you got here that you said the F word? And it was like 4 seconds. And so nobody won. And I was like, Jesus Christ. He's like, man, you don't even know when you say it sometimes. I'm like, no, man, I don't. I just say it. So again, that was two very You Had to Be There stories, but the bet with how long it would take me to say the F word was terrific, and it remains myself's and one of Matt Turner's favorite stories to this day. And again, it was told on my DVD. It's legendary at this point. If you haven't bought the DVD, please do. You can send me an email at final5dvd@gmail.com, 5 spelled out. And it's $20 for Blu-ray, $15 for a DVD. Send me an address. Send me an email first with the address, and then you can send me a PayPal at that same email address. Please follow me on Twitter at JoeyImage. I want to thank Thea Trinidad, actually, for following me today, the former Rosita from TNA. I want to thank her for following me. I've known her for a couple years now, I believe. Always awesome. Check out her YouTube. And again, follow me also on Facebook, facebook.com/RealJoeyImage. You can look at thatimageguy.com to find all my links and such. And please check out my merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/JoeyImage. That is exceptionally important, as I currently do not have a day job. I have very, very little income. So you can hit me up there and buy a shirt or 10, and that will help me out immensely. I'm signing off right here. Thank you very much for listening and downloading and subscribing, or one of those, or all three of those, whatever you do. Thank you very much. I will talk to you soon. Have a terrific holiday weekend, I hope, and have a great Labor Day itself, and I will talk to you soon. I'll see you on my next episode. This will be out later this week. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
In the ring, in the air, out of control! WWF WrestleMania from NES! 8-Man Mayhem! Did you see that? Hulkamania, brother! Choose from 6 superstars! Unbelievable combat! No holds barred, anything goes action! It's a slugfest! 2 wrestlers in the ring, brother! Kick from anywhere! Total chaos! Punch in 2 directions! Complete mayhem! Run at your opponent! Amazing! Spinorama! WWF WrestleMania for NES! I inject steroids into my balls, brother!